Okay, clutch adjustment 101, classes in session. What I see a lot of people having issues adjusting clutches, and I ask them, how do they adjust the clutch? Well, obviously, you're going to take out the flower nut retaining screw. Biggest mistake is people are using needle nose to tighten a flower nut, or pliers to tighten a flower nut. Wrong, or a screwdriver, and they're hitting it wrong. None of those are right. The only tool you need is a flathead screwdriver once you get your cover off. Once you get the locking nut out, you want to push in your lever all the way. Turn the flower nut by your fingers till it's tight. Now you have all this play and you've got no movement. Once you've done that, you want to back it off probably 1/2 to 1 full turn. You only need about 2 millimeters of gap between the flower nut and the plate. That's all the release you need. That's it. Once you have that, then you can put in your screw and lock it down. So now you have all this play over here. Say, okay, it's in too far, which could come in contact with the carburetor or might not be an issue at all. The biggest thing with too much inward position on the clutch lever is either worn clutch pads. So the more you tighten this, the more it's going to pull in the bar in the center, which is going to position this up against the bucking bar. So the more worn the pads, the further it's going to go. The more worn your bucking bar. So we have several sizes that I use. I got 24, 26, and I've got miscellaneous sizes. I can cut them 29.8, 28.5. Most stock kits are 24 to 26. So a lot of times your bucking bar can be worn or it's too short. The length of the bucking bar also determines the position of your clutch arm. Now let's say you have brand new pads. You did the flower adjustment. Your lever is in too far. Another trick, you can readjust the lever on the cam. So if you take your cone nut off, put on a regular nut a couple times, put it in a vise. You can put this in the vise and hit down on here, which in turn takes your lever off of the shaft. So you say your shaft is here, and normally it's in here. You can remove this. You can position it outwards, wherever you want. So now you have all of this once it's contacted with your bucking bar. So you can reposition your lever. It doesn't have to be here. Take it off, reposition it, reclock it out to where it's out here. Tighten it all back up, use a nut and a washer, tighten it down with a 10 millimeter. And now you've repositioned that. Now you have the correct adjustment on your flower nut. You tighten it down, you're good to go. So one thing you want to inspect before you do these adjustments, say after you've got a ton of miles, inspect your pads. Make sure they're not flattened out, they're not glazed. The thickness makes a difference on where this is positioned, and the thickness makes a difference on how much it grabs. So now once you have it adjusted, you're like, it's still slipping a little bit. I need to adjust my preload spring. So after you have done your flower nut adjustment, Okay, there's an adjustment in here. You take out your cable standoff, then you can take a small flathead, put it in there, or what I like to use is a little punch. Then you take your Allen head, you stick it in here, and you hold it. You'll feel there's a groove in there, and you turn it forward, which tightens it, which now is putting preload on the spring. It gives it more pressure on the spring. Well, now I'm maxed out. You can let the flower nut off a little bit. Now you have your movement, and you also have more clamping force because you tighten the spring. Now you don't want to tighten it too tight, otherwise you'll get no engagement. You won't be able to release it at all because your spring is going to be compressed. So that pretty much sums it up. It's very easy. There's no other tools needed to adjust your clutch. That's it. That's all you need. So remove that, push that in, tighten it all the way, back it off one full turn, sometimes a half a turn, release it. You can tighten your cable, loosen this, tighten your cable to where you don't have all the slack, and there's your adjustment. And I highly recommend getting good pads, like the best pads you can get, to help with everything working together. So that's pretty much it. See ya.